We'll get that eventually. Anyway, what's up, everyone? Jen McGraw here. We are rocking, we're rolling. Another week of giving you my best bets on Planet Phillies shorts to give you some best bets, help you win some money. Of course, I am no sharp bettor, but I will be eventually. But I do love myself a couple good props. So I'll throw in some props of obvious money line. When you check out the Planet Philly podcast, this week's episode, you know who I'm rolling with. But I'll throw in some picks that I like for this week ahead of this matchup. But first, before we get into that, let's talk about last week with the Giants. Now, the Eagles and Giants faced off in the divisional round, their third and final time this season. And of course, the Eagles went 3 for 3. Of course, winning the last time when it mattered most in a 38-7 matchup. Jalen Hurts looked phenomenal. He had 16, or he went 16 for 24 for 154 yards and 2 touchdowns, one to Smith and one to Dallas Goedert. So it was a pretty good week for Jalen Hurts to really just get things done and keep things moving as the Eagles advanced into the playoffs for this week against the San Francisco 49ers. And of course, they're going to be facing none other than Brock Purdy, Mr. Irrelevant. We talked about it on the podcast. It's a good Cinderella story for the 49ers. And of course, we've been there as Eagles fans back in 2017, but I just don't see the 49ers having the same kind of luck, the same kind of pizzazz that the 2017 Eagles had. If you know anything about the story of Cinderella, we're going to go back to the scrubs and the pumpkin eventually. It's just how things are going to roll. So with that being said, I do think the Eagles win. I think they cover. I think they get the job done. So we'll get into some of those picks. First, of course, I'm taking Eagles money line minus 150. You can catch all these picks on BetMGM, the one that I usually like to use, but you can shop around on the different sports books that you enjoy and that you trust most in. I trust BetMGM. And so these are the picks that I'm giving you from there today. So we're going to start with the Eagles money line. I took the Eagles and Bills to be a Super Bowl favorite at the beginning of the season. So why back out now? Of course, the Bills will not be in the Super Bowl, but I'm still rolling with the Eagles, my team, our team, of course. I just think they have too much fire underneath them, and I think they'll be able to get the job done against the 49ers. And some of these picks that I have are going to share that. And some things that I wrote down too. I'm not backing down with this Eagles team, even though the 49ers are another great matchup, both offensively and defensively. I think the Eagles have a slight edge on defense, where the 49ers might have a slight edge with the running back room. But other than that, I think the Eagles just take the cake as the better team. And give me the Eagles to win this weekend because they have a fire underneath them. They were snubbed for the most part in the NFL honors as that awards list came out this week. They went from being fan favorites in the national media back to being underdogs, which they are absolutely known for. So I like the Eagles in this spot. Like I said, minus 150. I think it's a good deal. I just think the Eagles have too much to be able to go out. I think they have too much to not be able to go out and win. I think that they get the job done. And another pick that I'm going with, and now I'm not a first touchdown scorer. I'm not that kind of person, but I do love a good anytime touchdown. And like I said last week, I'm rolling it with it again this week. Brown anytime touchdown or Smith anytime touchdown. Last week, Devontae Smith obviously had a touchdown, and so did Dallas Goedert. It was an off week for A.J. Brown, but I do think that he bounces back this week in a big way. So give me a Brown anytime touchdown at plus money. It's plus 140. And a Smith anytime touchdown, which is plus 175. Both really good options. And I think both players are just going to have a great game this weekend. And you get it at plus money? Like, hello. So I like the wide receivers anytime touchdown. I think they're going to match up nicely with the 49ers defense, especially since both of them are basically always open. And the 49ers secondary wasn't really as strong last week as I would have hoped against the Cowboys, but nonetheless, that's why I'm saying take those wide receiver anytime touchdowns. And next, the one that might seem a little controversial. So obviously we have a good offense matching up against a good defense and a good offense matching up against a good defense. So it doesn't seem like it's going to be a high scoring game. However, right now the over-under is at 46.5. Last year, with the AFC divisional round between the Bills and the Chiefs, we remember it was an absolute perfect game. The Chiefs came out on top in overtime 42-36. It was a high scoring game, and both teams were elite. They were playing at elite levels. Why can't the same thing happen with the Eagles and the Niners? I think it's going to be a high scoring game. I took my pick as the Eagles beating the 49ers, of course, 28-24, which obviously covers the over in the 46.5. So give me the 46.5. I know it might be controversial, but I see it happening. I think it's more than capable of happening. It is minus 110 on BetMGM. And I not only do I think that, but also I really feel like the Eagles are going to defensively get a pick six. I feel like they're very capable of having that happen, because if they take control early, they take control of that momentum early, and they get to Brock Purdy, they're going to mess up his momentum. They're going to get him all stressed out. You got 69,000 fans screaming at you or with you, and I just see the defense having a really good day and sharing some of that love as well. So go ahead and give me the over 46.5 at minus 110. And then lastly, this is looking a little bit into the future, but since the NFL awards and NFL honors came out this week, I wanted to touch on some of these as well. If the Eagles win on Sunday and they make the Super Bowl and they win the Super Bowl either against the Chiefs with a banged up Patrick Mahomes or the Bengals, who last year did great, but obviously didn't win, I really like Jalen Hurts to be the Super Bowl MVP, and it just makes sense. There's so much hate with Jalen Hurts this season, and he's been not doing nothing except going out and performing, executing at a high level. And of course, we can attribute that to the offensive line and his weapons as well. But I think Jalen Hurts definitely takes the cake as Super Bowl MVP. You could also even look at AJ Brown for MVP as well. I know there's some odds on there as well, but I like Super Bowl MVP for Jalen Hurts. Looking a week before the big game, we have the NFL honors, obviously, and some Eagles obviously made the NFL honors list. We have assistant coach Shane Steichen, and we have offensive player of the year, as well as AP NFL AP NFL MVP. Too many letters. Both of them being Jalen Hurts. And so obviously he's going up against Justin Jefferson and Patrick Mahomes. But I really think that with these awards, it's going to be a quarterback kind of situation. So whoever doesn't get offensive player of the year is going to get the other award, is going to get MVP. So if Hurts doesn't get offensive player of the year, then he probably gets MVP. Or if Patrick Mahomes doesn't get offensive, it's kind of like a flip-flop situation. That's the thing that I see. So go ahead and take a look at that futures market and kind of see where it makes sense for you. I'm not going to give any specific bets because I myself haven't looked at anything specific in the futures market in that regard yet. So I don't want to give you any information that may make you lose money. But go ahead and take a look at the futures market, see what you like, see what you think makes sense. But I do like the Super Bowl MVP for Jalen Hurts. Those are some of my best bets. Some other ones that were floating around, obviously Brock Purdy over 2.5 passing touchdowns. He's done that basically every game. I don't see why he would stop even against the Eagles. I know the Eagles defense isn't immensely good, but I still see Brock Purdy just being able to do what he does best. Even if he ends up losing, he's still going to be able to go out and execute, even though that's probably not what we want, but still. So I did like the over 2.5 passing touchdowns. I kind of feel like a Goddard anytime touchdown would also be a reasonable thing. And obviously Christian McCaffrey anytime touchdown as well. Just some of those bigger players who have had sensational, have had a sensational season, I think is going to be able to execute this weekend as well. So those are some of my picks. You can find them all on BetMGM. Just to give you a quick little rundown again and why I like these picks, we'll start with Eagles money line. Eagles money line minus 150. I like it because, like I said, I've been riding with the Eagles all my life, really. But even in this season, before the season started, I like the Eagles-Bills to go to the Super Bowl. Obviously, the Bills won't be there, but the Eagles may or may not. We don't know. So I'm going ahead and backing the Eagles in this spot against the 49ers. They have bulletin board material. They're going to go out on that field, and they're going to just do what they do best. They're going to rock that field. You got 69,000 fans who are going to be there with you and just helping you along the way, whatever way that they're able to do so. So I like the Eagles, like I said, at the money line, minus 150. Brown anytime touchdown at plus 140 and Smith anytime touchdown at plus 175. I just like a wide receiver anytime touchdown. These Eagles offensive weapons are awesome and they've done nothing but execute at a high level this season. So go ahead and give me those anytime touchdowns. You may even look at a Goddard anytime touchdown as well, as he did get a touchdown last week. And then I like the over. I know what you're probably thinking. Jen, it might be a low scoring game. I don't care. I like the over 46.5 at minus 110. And then going ahead, looking a little bit into the future, we don't know if this might happen, but even if it does, I kind of think it's a good deal. Jalen Hurts, Super Bowl MVP. I think it caps off a perfect season that Jalen Hurts has had. He's went 14-1. He has thrown and passed and rushed and done everything that he could possibly do to be up in that conversation with the other elite NFL quarterbacks. So I just like the idea of him getting Super Bowl MVP. Those are some of my picks. You can check them all out on the First and Gen website and First and Gen podcast as well. From me to you, Jennifer McGraw of Planet Philly. Hopefully you can make some money this weekend. I'll be taking some of these picks as well. So even if you lose, I'm losing too, so it's okay. But if we win together and we celebrate. Have a great day, everyone, and go Birds.